right to the point at the base of the brain. And this little spot uses virtually more blood than just about any other organ in the body. Passes through the pineal. It's the only one in the brain that doesn't go through the brain-blood barrier. Blood passes through. It's right in the center. It's right there. Okay, right under the big gray mass and such. Okay. So it's connected to just virtually every important organ in the body. The pituitary, the heart, the thalamus, pancreas, and on and on. It's almost just about the same shape as a pine cone. It goes way back in Catholicism and others. At the Vatican, you'll see that the Pope is carrying a staff with a pine cone on it. You'll see a pine cone at the entrance to the Vatican. It's probably maybe 20 feet high. They don't tell you this stuff, you know. They knew about this. It's all hidden secrets, you know. You'll see it on the Buddha. See these little guys here? The mystics have known about this for eons. You'll see it on this little Buddha right here. Okay? And you'll see also that it has got the same design as the Fibonacci spiral, which is the spiral of the universe. It's the spiral that our galaxy also has. And this also has a spiral in it, the same spiral. And the pine cone, and so does the pineal. I was reminded of something. What was it? Oh yes, we have a guest today. A very special guest. Very special guest right here. Anybody can guess who is just about one of the most favorite people of Bruce's and ours that hangs out in the celestial realm?
Jesus.
Christ, yes. Well, he's wearing red today. Because red is a really important color for us right now, energetically. Reds and purples and yellows are deficient right now in the energetic matrix of what's going on. So if you're feeling a little bit fritzy or fratzy or whatever, add a little more color to your life. Besides, it's almost spring anyway. So anyway, what he's got here underneath this beautiful little beret is a surprise. Pineal. This little statue was made by one of our favorite people, Gina Bouquet.
Wow.
And she was a shaman, and she was quite intuitive and quite connected with source energy, and she also had the third eye. You see it? So she was ahead of the stage on this, which she traded with. So the most important thing for us to realize is that, first of all, the pineal can be calcified. It comes from the sad American diet. It comes from brushing our teeth with fluoridated toothpaste. It comes from taking and getting fluorides in our pharmaceuticals. Anything that's got a fluoro in the name of the pharmaceutical is fluoridated. It comes from vaccines. Virtually every one of the vaccines that your children are getting is fluoridated. This goes way back in history. Even back in World War II, the Nazis were using fluoride in the water of the prison camps to dim down the population so they were passive.
They use it in the Soviet Union also for the same reason.
For the same reason, yeah. That's why anti-fluoridation groups are so prevalent right now in the United States to get it out of our water. So anyway, it's one of those things about living in this century is that we have to do our own research. We have to be decisive and discerning, and we have to figure out where this stuff's coming from, and they just dance around it. And then tell other people that too. Fluoride in the toothpaste, you can make your own toothpaste. We do. We make one out of Golden Seal, Myrrh, and Cayenne, which will keep your teeth healthy, your gums healthy. Cayenne is great for stopping bleeding. Cayenne is really great for healing. Cayenne will even stop shock in heart patients who are getting a heart attack, or animals that have been injured by running and climbing the windows and such. Okay, that's a whole other story. But I'm going to follow the little plan here so I don't get too far off of this and try to get it all together. So it's really important, first of all, if you look down your little thing here, to realize that there's a lot of information out there besides what I'm telling you. The Art of Unity, how to decalcify your pineal gland, is a great website. Also, there's 2 YouTubes that are fabulous about how to connect to spirit and how to decalcify your pineal gland. These come from spirit-based websites. They're really awesome. This is the greatest cover-up in history. And the next one is the truth about the pineal gland. Okay. And also on my website too, which is ditoh4u.com. I have a number of pages in there on how to eat a healthier diet, how to move away from the sad American experience of eating. And not only does this really help you as a young individual, but people that are the baby boomer age will benefit greatly. In fact, some people are benefiting within weeks, even months, from just shifts in their diet for the positive. It's really easy when you get over your 60s or whatever to go, oh, I'm just too old to deal with this anymore. You know, I'm stuck in this sad American scene. You know, well, even admitting that that's part of it is getting your attention to it. And which one to put your attention to is wellness and not the fear, the false evidence occurring here. So why is it important to awaken your third eye anyway? Well, it's your connection to spirit, and it increases your awareness. It also improves your intuition and your psychic enhancement. It also improves our ability to manifest. Manifest is something you do with intention. That's something that you decide in the morning that you want to have your life created the way you intend it to be. So you start your day, you go, this is the way I want my day to be. And so it is. And you will put these out and say, and that's what I expect more than anything else, is to have my wishes, my desires created gracefully in this way. So, if your pineal is working properly, then you will be able to manifest these desires. And you'll find out that without a doubt they'll come true. If you're manifesting green lights instead of red ones, you're going, wow, that's really cool. I went through all these green lights. I did that yesterday. I did. I hit one. All the way from Jerome all the way to Zaleski Road. Everyone. Wow, I'm right there. And it allows more vivid and lucid dreams. We all want lucid dreams. This is part of our knowing that we're more than what we really are in form and physicality. It means that we are right on the edge of connecting with consciousness and spirit-connected realities. And it also provides melatonin, your pineal does. And that provides the ability to sleep better. So if you're on melatonin supplements, then another good reason to be cleaning your pineal. It also enables astral projection beyond time and space, which comes with lucid dreaming sometimes. It increases creativity and imagination, and provides dimethyltryptophan, which enables mystical states and opens God realization. That's why people go to the jungles to experience ayahuasca. And the shamans, more and more people are doing that all the time. And I went to a seminar one time at Burning Man, of all places. I'm a burner.
Yep.
And we had a huge stage of a big maps tent. And it was filled with people sitting on little mats on the dirt. And we had all kinds of amazing speakers. We had doctors and psychologists and others that were talking about their experiences with this DMT. And talking about other experiences that they've had with opening their pineal. I mean, this was coming back years ago. People were going, whoa, yeah, we're getting really close to something profound here. And others that came back from doing ayahuasca experiences. And they said, there's something in this that I had never experienced before. This is something that's opened up a whole new idea of reality. It's taken me past this form that I'm living in now into something that feels more like God. Am I worthy of that? Can I really feel like God? You know, remember the hippies back then? Oh, I feel like God, you know. Well, yes, they were close, but nobody believed it, you know. So you got Timothy Leary, and you got all these great people that came along that were like really put down by the government. No, don't tell people how cool they are. Don't give them this information. The churches have been doing this too. That's why we call this a learning center, because this is to get you back out of the box. You know, they tried to cap me off a number of times. It didn't work. That's why I don't wear caps. But, so what we should avoid, fluorides. Tell your family, no vaccines. We have alternatives to vaccines. Nobody gets the flu unless they get a vaccine, right?
Right.
That's what we're getting. Nobody gets AIDS unless they get the AIDS vaccine. We're finding alternative medications now that are taking care of all that stuff, but they're still trying to depress this information from us. I have lots of information on this. So stay away from that. Keep your kids free of it. If you're starting to take or you get fluoride and you want to get rid of fluoride, there are natural agents for doing that. One of the natural agents for getting rid of that is cilantro. Now this is dried cilantro. It's also good for chemtrails and getting rid of aluminum. And it will bind with those things and it will pull it out of the body. Now, this is dried cilantro that you can get from Mount Hope in the bulk food section. And you can buy it very cheaply, and you can sprinkle this on all of your food and it won't change the taste at all. Cilantro by itself, when it's raw, has got a pretty pungent taste to it. But when it's dried, you can put it in tea, you can put it in your smoothies, you can put it in your eggs and bacon. You can do whatever you want, but it's really good. Another thing, which will give you all the vitamins and minerals that you really actually need, is a vitamin pill in a bottle, and it makes strong horses 12 ways. This is alfalfa. Okay? Alfalfa, as horse people like White Wolf here know, is what makes horses well when they're sick. They'll go out there and they'll grange around and get all these green things. There was a Red Bear, who was a scientist and a shaman up in Sedona one time, wrote a whole book on how he followed horses around when they were sick. And he would go, what are they eating? Why are they coming back healthier than when they were living with us? And he'd follow them to the river and he'd see what those plants were that they were eating. And that's when he started just, finding out how he could heal people by telling them about those plants. So alfalfa, cilantro. I'm going to pass these around. You can open the cap on this and whip it. Alfalfa smells really good. You can spread this on your food. You can put it in your teas. You can add it to your coffee. Yeah, before you press it, though, for it to float around on top. You put it in your breakfast food. We do that too. You won't notice the taste, but it has vitamins, minerals, and all the trace elements that you need. In fact, for men especially, it is the #1 recommended herbal spice to go. It has virtually everything you need for your prostate and for the other aspects of your physicality that you need. So
Which one was
that's the alfalfa.
Alfalfa.
Yeah.
Cilantro, you
And
got.
the cilantro, and I'll pass the cilantro around to you. And the next one I'm going to talk about is rosemary. Rosemary is good for your mind. It's also very good for chemtrail stuff. It's good. It's actually, rosemary is really amazing. Most of you know I'm an herbalist, so I'm trying to just get this stuff out. Now you can get rosemary powdered at Mount Hope too. And rosemary is great in your salads. Sprinkle it like Parmesan cheese on it. Believe it or not, rosemary is the #1 detox for chemtrails. And what's in chemtrails? Aluminum, bromine, viruses, fungi, all kinds of stuff. So rosemary, get the rosemary, make tea out of it, like this tea that I make here. Now, when I make this tea, I make it with the whole herb, and I bring it to a boil along with a little Mormon tea that's up here. And then when it turns nice color, kind of reddish, then go ahead and add a little stevia to it, and you've got rosemary tea. Rosemary is what the ancients used to use to clarify their mind. Pythagorean people. The clerics to clarify their mind before they took their big exams. You know? Much better than coffee. Everybody thinks coffee is good for that. You know? I still believe that, but I only drink organic coffee.
Me too.
Yeah. Okay. Calcium supplements. Most people take too much calcium. You know, those pills actually that you take, you get, from Walmart and stuff, they're rocks. They just go right through you and out the other end. Calcium by itself is not very good for people. Milk is really bad for people. You all know that. The best thing to get your calcium from is your plants. Green plants. Eat more green plants. Shake more of these green things on your food that I'm passing around. The other thing is that you can also, the kale. Oh, Cookie made a beautiful little bouquet here. Can you guess what this bouquet is made out of? Well, these are fake, but this is kale. Kale is really a wonder food. You can buy kale just about anywhere. You can crunch it up and put it in your salad. It's much better than just head lettuce or any kind of lettuce. So if you can base your food with kale, you'll get all the greens. Kale's got lots of magnesium in it. So in talking about magnesium, most people are getting too much calcium. They need something like, they need magnesium more than anything right now because magnesium is deficient in virtually all of the American population. Okay, and you can't get quite enough of it in your diet. So I don't recommend too many supplements, but one we do take is Calm. How many people know about Calm? Oh, wow, this is great. Most people do. Okay, well this is something you can take with calcium. They know better than to give too much calcium. So if you get a calcium Calm with calcium, it'll be about half the amount of calcium you normally get. And twice the magnesium. So take this every day. Every one of you. You need magnesium more than anything else right now to synthesize all the other trace minerals you've got. It's coming in. Dr. Rick Malter, who is a hair mineral analysis, says we're all virtually deficient in magnesium. It'll help you sleep much better. It will calm you down. It'll keep you moving, your motor running smoothly. And one other thing that I recommend too with this is trace minerals. So we'll put a little squirt of trace minerals in a glass before bedtime, just a squirt, and then put around 2 teaspoons of this in for most people. Okay?
Which brand do you recommend of trace minerals?
It actually says concentrate trace minerals, and these are pretty close to each other over Mount Hope. I don't work for them. Not
I have to say something about that trace minerals.
It's got a lot of sodium.
As you know, I've had pictures of mercury. That has 84 minerals in it. That, I believe that's the mercury, that stuff.
Uh-huh,
Just FYI, just putting it out.
yeah, well, I
I've done a
haven't,
little research on it, so.
okay, cool. Well, if it does, it's so small. I mean, it's hard to get anything that doesn't have a little bit of something in it.
Well,
Even
the other
normal.
minerals are gonna detoxify the mercury out anyway.
no,
They're in there.
Yes,
No.
they will. Yeah, that's detoxification naturally. So the biggest thing is for the body to be able to heal itself. To heal itself properly, it needs magnesium and it needs trace minerals. And it needs more greens in the diet. And it needs less fluoride, of course. So, one of the biggest things to remove and to decalcify the calcium that has been depositing itself around your precious pineal is the 20 mule team Baraxo.
Yeah.
How many people can believe that?
Wow.
How many people are savvy of this? Okay. Sorry. Baraxo! All right. I'll tell you right now. Okay. When I first learned about this from Hannah Kroger, I went to Hannah's school back in Boulder. She has a school for wellness and natural nutrition and dowsing and healthcare through spirit and knowing basically what works and what doesn't over many years of research. Hannah's no longer with us, but Hannah passed her studies on to her daughter, Gisela, who I learned from. And so anyway, Hannah called this Baraxo. She said, you know, this is not a soap. It's a great laundry soap. It's a whitener and everything, but it's a mineral.
Thank you.
It's not a soap, it's a mineral. It's a mineral that you are deficient in. Because this mineral will leach out the excess calcium. And it will combine also with, you know, some of the things that are plugging your pineal up. Well, what's in this is boron. Boron. We're deficient in boron. Okay? So what we do, what Hannah Kroger said, and she calls this is Baraxo in this little bottle, and I keep it right next to my spices in the kitchen. So remember, you know, we're all trying to get our memories back, okay? So remember to take it. So I'll be just kind of goofing around in the kitchen, and I go, oh, I'm going to take a little, sometimes your heart will just pull you towards what you need.
Right.
So I go, oh, there it is, it's the Get Smart. Hannah calls it Get Smart. And what she says is you just take the top off, and you lick your thumb, and you stick it in there, like that. You get about that much on your thumb, and you stick it in on the soft palate of your upper mouth, okay? And you move it around. Move it around until it's all gone. And you know what? It actually tastes pretty good. Now, I don't know if that's an acquired taste or not. I mean, some people like you, Nanda, that probably use borax for cleaning things are going, what the heck is he talking about? You know? But maybe it's an acquired taste, but I really like it. But what this does, and why she says this, is because now it doesn't have to go through the body to get to the pineal. It's almost there.
Gotcha.
Could you also put it under your tongue and absorb it that way? Because there's supposed to be a nerve that goes, a reflex point that goes from the tongue to the brain.
You know what happens is when you get it in there, it starts moving around there anyway. I can
Okay.
taste it on my tongue.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And another way to do it is that you can actually take about a half a teaspoon, quarter to a half a teaspoon, and put it in your water jug and drink it throughout the day. Okay? It takes a little longer, but when you take it in and you're drinking it, usually you're drinking it kind of slow anyway, and you're taking it by sips, so it's going to the same place.
Yeah, I take the boron supplement because I did some research and found out the boron helps the calcium that goes to the bone.
Yeah.
But I don't know what else is in the borax. Because if I take the boron supplement, I know I'm just getting boron. That's the hope I'm just getting boron. But in this borax, I don't know what else is in it, or at least from you, what else is in it?
There's nothing but the mineral in here,
Just boron.
just the
So
boron.
instead of buying all the supplements, they're a little bottle like this, I
Basically,
can just buy that big box.
For less money.
Yeah, so my point, yeah.
Yeah, no. My intention is to get people to not have to go buy supplements. It's kind of better to be able to know how to do this on a more natural thing without going the supplement route. It's just too much to remember for most people. You gotta keep this simple, you know? You have to keep it to where it's not rocket science.
What kind of water do you get? I hear so many things about bottled water and reverse osmosis and all of this stuff, so, you know, I'm at a loss to know what's the right thing.
For water, your best bet is to look for places, we don't have fluoride in the water in this city at all. There are trace minerals and elements in this water, none of them that are really nasty. There's a little higher arsenic than normal, but not bad. That can be leached out somewhat also by taking this calcium and also by taking these herbs that
Are
I've
you
got.
talking about cottonwood water?
Hmm?
Are you talking about cottonwood water?
Cottonwood water, it's not fluoridated.
Really? It's not
No,
fluoridated? Oh.
it's not.
There's a lot of chlorine in it, so.
It's got a little chlorine in it, I'm not sure how much it is. By law, you've got to put chlorine in the water. But there are many people right now in large groups that are going for anti-fluoridation. I think at least 4 or 5 states have stopped it.
Detail, does food grain diatomaceous earth play a role in what you're talking about?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, diatomaceous earth is actually quite good for pulling out pathogens out of the body. It won't hurt you. It's too small. It just pulls out the bugs. Yeah, I recommend it if you want to take that. That's okay. Yeah. Well, most people in their lives right now are experiencing too much acidity in their physicality. That means they're eating acid foods, processed foods. You're going to be healthy if you're on the alkaline side. To get on the alkaline side, basically that means that you need to get into more greens, less processed foods. You can start, actually this is quite alkaline. One other thing is very alkaline is baking soda. So if you want to supplement just by taking some baking soda every day, that's not a bad idea, you know. It's extremely, I think it's an 8.5 on the alkaline scale. But if you,
that in water?
yes, in water. Yeah, it's good for upset tummies too. It'll settle that. But you know, the thing you asked about the water, bottled water in plastic bottles is not really very good for people. So we carry our water around all the time in glass jars, sometimes with really fancy covers. Like this one right here, this is a 1-quart glass jar with a cute little cover on it. Because most people carry the water around in glasses that are a little too small to last for a whole day anyway. But you can make your own covers for them. And you know, the water around here is really not bad. I mean, it's a lot better than most places. Many people come up to my house and get your own water. Because I have a tap out on the street. It's open to anybody that wants it. Because our water comes from springs, high up in the mountains. Very deep water.
Where's
Very
your tap?
clear.
Where's the tap?
Oh, the tap?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. This is easy. You know where the high school is? Right on there overlooking everything. The great big building with the fancy red roof. Okay. That's the artist studios. You go past the artist studios, there's 8 houses on the east side in a row, left side. I'm right in the middle. I'm the only one that says Dream Peace on the window. Okay? And right outside where I parked my car is a spigot. Right next to the arbor where
Yeah.
the used to be vines for the grapes used to grow. But they got sick, so they took over there. But it's right there. You guys are always welcome to stop by before I didn't get.
What about the spring up in, towards,
Oh, up there in Sedona?
up the canyon, up the canyon?
Yes, it's similar. Similar. It's a good spring, but it's all a long way from here.
And we usually take at least 10 bottles, maybe 12 bottles, gallon bottles up there and fill it.
I highly recommend that. So the question is, what's good? If it's reverse osmosis water from this area, it's probably about as good as you're going to get. Other than that, bottled waters that come from Walmart and the big things, no, I wouldn't touch it. It's usually city water that's been filtered.
Well, the thing about the reverse osmosis, my plumber told me, Piper, if anybody knows Piper Plumbing, he said that, because I had a reverse osmosis, that it takes the minerals out so that the water is kind of vague. That's why I use, or did use, I took it out because it takes 5 gallons of water to make 1 gallon of RO water.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh no, I don't want to do that. I'd rather have water in my garden instead. So it's a, what do you do? I don't know.
That's a tough, that's a personal choice on there.
I do have a house.
Know exactly. It's kind of a personal choice.
Into it.
Reverse osmosis has lost all the minerals, and it's like a dead water, and it actually chelates your minerals out of your body. So if you're going to use reverse osmosis, you may want to replace some of the minerals with the concentrate, or you could use a tablespoon of sea salt for every gallon, or you could use a tablespoon of alfalfa seed to remineralize your water, so you don't lose your minerals.
Excellent.
Wow.
Thank you.
wow.
Thank you very much.
That's what I heard.
Go ahead.
Just wondering if you understand anything about the connection between the pineal gland and the thyroid gland, because so many women have hypothyroidism, and men too, but primarily women. And I'm just wondering if there's what the connection is
Okay.
there.
Thyroid depends on iodine, and also on a healthy and well-working body system. Most people are way too acidic. So if you can check yourself with your own pH paper and see where you are. How many people know about pH paper and test cell testing? Okay. Well, it's not a bit, we still do it. We still do it every day or two just to check, just to get an idea. But the biggest thing to do is get rid of all the things like aspartame and sugar, cut down on that, fried foods, fats like that. You don't need that much fat in your diet. You can get all that you need in a handful of sunflower seeds for protein in a day. You know, your fats come from coconut oil and avocados. You know, these are things that more and more people are starting to learn. I have much of this information on my website under diet. So go there, because there's a lot of information I won't be able to give you today, but the research is out there. If we can keep ourselves up in an alkaline state, cancer has nothing to attach to. Candida has nothing to cling to. All of these things fall away, and then your thyroid starts to work better. Your pineal works better. Everything works better. Go ahead.
There's a lot of research done recently, and they found that the adrenal gland governs the function of the thyroid. And if your adrenal glands are shot, your thyroid is going to be most likely under alcohol. So women and men, well, men also, our adrenal glands begin to produce the sex hormones when we get into menopause. So they're overworked.
Yes, definitely overworked.
Hey, Ditoh,
Yeah.
Jennifer has had her hand for a long time. Start wrapping up in about 5 minutes if you want.
She has a question.
Hold on a second.
I was just wanting to know about the pipes up in the road. You were talking about the water.
because the plumbing's very old up there, did they use lead pipes? Is there any concern about
No,
that?
those pipes are made out of ceramic, pottery.
Okay,
Yeah, and the new ones, I believe, are PVC. but
yeah,
I'm
the
not
new
sure.
ones aren't, I was just wondering about the old pipes, yeah.
Not
I wonder if you had anything to address what you said about the adrenals, because without the adrenals functioning, probably pretty much everything for sure.
right. It takes some time for people to actually start becoming healthy, you know. It takes some attention to your diet, to, moving away from milk products, for instance, meat products. You'll start to feel so much better and lighter if you start going into nuts and seeds and greens and avocados and things that are made with, say, even if you need the bulk, you can go to like organic blue corn and make polenta. You can use mesquite, you can use other things to create things that have got bulk in them. You can create alternative breakfast. Now, most people eat the wrong kind of breakfast, so you're going to want to go into breakfast grains that give you a lot of energy, and you can take the same grains that you make in the morning, like the quinoa or the millet or whatever, and you can add that to your salads that you eat at lunch. And when you go out in your car every time during the day, don't go out there empty-handed. Take a tub of nuts, almonds and sunflower seeds and stuff. Take that with you. So if you get a little hungry, you'll be okay, because that'll get you right on through until dinner, and then you'll have the energy to create what you want. Because once you start getting cleaned out, you feel much more energetic, much lighter. You don't
Almost
feel these
everything,
cravings.
I'm sorry, almost everything he suggested for the pineals can help your adrenal glands, by the way.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's a transition period.
What do you think of artesian well water?
Usually pretty good. It depends on where the artesian well's from, but I haven't tested, but yeah. Yeah, artesian well usually comes from greater ground pressure, so it's actually, the water's pressurized. The Alamosa Valley is famous. I almost bought property there one time because they had an artesian well on it. And it was very good water.
I had it too, but I wanted to say, just real quick,
Yeah.
there's a place called the Chocolate Tree Restaurant in Sedona, and they have a spigot, anybody can get their artesian water.
Oh, good information. Yeah.
And their food's gotten really good since they've been bought.
Yeah.
that's good to hear.
The chocolate tree's really changed.
This is also the
Main
eye
Street.
of Horus. How many people recognize the Egyptian symbol, the Eye of Horus?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, what's really interesting is that it coincides so remarkably with the pineal and this setup in the brain. The Egyptians were quite wary of all of this. We go way back into cultures, and what we're getting out of this is really unknown from previous investigations. So it's exciting news, guys. I mean, this is like, wow, I feel like I'm on a whole new learning curve, And I thought, wow, I think I've got it all figured out. And just about the time I say that, it's like, whoa, this is really cool news. I'm glad this came up today. Thanks for telling me about whatever that was. And then you can follow it. So follow the trails on the stuff that comes in. Share your information with your friends. See what they're taking on it, And the biggest thing is let's all work and help one